It is a hot and sunny day. It is definitely above 20 degrees and in the sun even more. It is already afternoon and the sun is already there to the west, so it's definitely beyond the apogee. And I wanted to show you the finished solar extension over there. So here is the whole thing. Andrel and I did nothing. This got completely delegated to the supplier. It's a local company, they are called Solar del Valle, and I have been very happy with them. They work very well and very responsible. So let me explain you what we have. So first of all, we have 14 solar panels. They are from a German company called Axitec. They have a nominal capacity of 570 watt, and it's 14 of them, so you can do the math, and you will end up at roughly 7,900. And here we have an SMA inverter. That thing is called Sunny Boy, there it says. And there is a green light, which means it is operating. Those are the two cables, or the two pairs of cables for each string. So 7 panels are a string, and now we have 14 in total, and they produce that amount of power depending on where the sun stands. This is network connection, so we need to install the Ethernet cable, which requires a trench. Let me come back to this in a moment. And this is the power cable, where we now have 230 volt that are being brought back to the house. And you see that stanchion is in concrete footers, and there are 2 of these posts, and then you see that cable there that goes across to the fence, and then it finds its way back to the house where everything else is right now. So if I zoom in, you might be able to see what we have there. So you see another Sunny Boy, and the gray box, that is a Sunny Island. That's the charge controller for the batteries. Sorry for the shaking camera. So let me zoom out again. And that cable goes there in front of the yacht, crosses over. So we basically put it out of the way. And now one of the next things is to make a trench that comes in from there. That trench will get a water line, Ethernet cable, and that electric cable. And then there will be an outlet somehow here to connect the things, and also have a faucet to connect a hose. That line will be pressurized eventually, so it will not be dependent on the pressure by gravity from the tank that sits over there, so that we can clean the solar panels when there is a Sahara dust storm. And as you can see, this is a little bit high here, so we will be on the outside. I'll take you there in a moment, and then spray water on it, and therefore we want this hose to have some pressure. So now, as I find my way to the outside, I can continue to explain things. So last time I mentioned this hole where there will be a water tank, 10-20,000 liters, something like that, and eventually there will be a pump, a pressure pump, that will suck the water out of this water tank and then provide pressurized water, regular garden hose pressure, throughout the farmyard. And that way we can hose things down the same way as you would in your backyard. And that is the plan, so that we can maintain these panels clean and there is no issue. So the horses are here in this other area. The blind Sakahawea is walking around together with the sheep there in this area. Can't see her from here, she's there in the shadows. I was just there, but without the camera. And that works well. And I just stumbled upon this, so let me remove this and just throw it over here to the other side. Little things. And as you can see, the forage here is abundant. The horses can come in and out. I let them, I give them free access to this area because they can communicate with her friend, and at least they can hear, and in their case see each other, and she can hear them and smell them, so she is with horses and not only with sheep, because the sheep do not pay attention to her. So this is how this area here looks like, and with all the sun that we are now getting, there is an abundance of forage. So you can see this here. There where my shadow falls, you can see this is ungrazed, and it's the result of the rain and the sunshine. So, of course, now we don't have the need to feed a lot of animals, so we obviously have an abundance. And the purpose why I'm outside is I want to show you these panels. And I have to admit defeat, but it's not so bad. The thing is, Andrel and I wanted to do something the past Thursday, and he fell sick. That's when you have kids in school, and that happens, or kindergarten in his case. So I think we will then do this on Monday. So today is Saturday. So there we have it in all its glory. So basically there to the left we will then have a water outlet. It will be on the inside, so that someone passing through here will not open this and take the water away. Create a dependency, and the dependency the other person does not know, and maybe something happened, whatever. So we will have this on the inside, but when we have the need, then we have a hose with pressure and we can keep these panels clean. Because now we have a funny situation, and I can tell you that while walking back. So the funny situation is that we now have an abundance of solar power, because we have the new panels and the old ones. The new ones alone would be enough, and now we can do a lot of things without thinking about any kind of power consumption. So it doesn't really matter. We could charge an electric car, which we unfortunately don't have yet. And then comes nightfall, and we are back to a full capacity, to a full battery, fully charged. But we can only use, that we now know, some 15,000 watt hours. And if we try to heat the house overnight so that it will not cool out, then at 5 o'clock in the morning we run out of power. So we have tried this a few times, so that is a known thing, and now that's the challenge. But then of course you can solve this easily by buying more batteries, but here's the problem. If I invest into more AGM gel batteries, lead acid, then I basically make an investment to throw away in a very short amount of time, and it will not be enough for future use. So that's not the way to go. And if I switch to lithium ion now, I will be sorry in a couple of months when sodium ion comes out, and I need to find a suitable place with the right environment, because these batteries don't like freezing temperatures, which now going forward we likely won't have anymore until winter comes along again. So you see, tactically and strategically this is all a little bit difficult, and whenever that is the case, what do? Nothing. So I will open this here and sneak in, and I will do this off camera because I need to control the puppies. I don't want to allow them to slip out. So here I am on the other side. Nobody escaped, everything is cool. It's always an issue with these boys and girls, because they want to roam the place and then eat sheep or hunt sheep. They don't want to eat them, but they still bite them, and I don't want that. I explained this. We missed the boat to imprint so that they will guard sheep instead of hunting them. So that means there is this challenge. Now, because of the rain, the guy to plan the details of the concrete slab here did not show up. I hope that this will now happen next week. And then there is more that I can show you. We finished the placement of the stone for the first container. And the missing thing that we wanted to do the past Thursday is to make the footers out of concrete before we finish the finer grade for this. So this is the next thing, and I guess you will see this then in the next clip once it has happened. I can add a few plant things. So the broad beans that survived the frost, they are there. And now actually we need again to be careful that they will not dry out, because once the sun is out, everything dries out quickly. And a small little detail, we did cut the first of these palovnia trees over there, but of course the saw that Angel was able to buy in the village is of the wrong type. So the teeth of that saw is for dried wood and not for living wood. So I need to order this in Amazon, and then after a couple of days it will show up. So that's the thing. Huh? Elsewhere you go to Home Depot, I miss this kind of store, and you find everything there, and we don't have that. So we have a Leroy Merlin in Cordoba, but it means a couple of hours of road trip, and clicking through in Amazon is then the smarter choice. So, but I wanted to say something about the broad beans. So they are still there, they are growing, and this is for biomass. And as this is supposed to become a garden at some point, you will see when that can actually be done. So right now it feels like spring has started, but I wouldn't trust it, because we are at the end of January. This is not March. So probably be patient. But then it might be an early spring, and we are now losing out on time going forward. Maybe we are, maybe we are not. But there's plenty of other things to do. So there will be no gardening just yet, after we have started with the work on the workshop then. And first thing in the list is also what we want to do there in the cortijo, so that eventually we can house people visiting, doing something here, which is the first. We have not been able to do this. So this will come first.